Okay. Alright, so good afternoon once more. So this is my analysis entitled A Sociolinguistic Analysis of Language Use in Luis Cavalcante's fiction story, The Fog. So let's get acquainted with our author. Luis Cavalcante writes fiction, non-fiction, and poetry in English, in Filipino, and Bicolano. He has done translation from Spanish into English and Filipino. He has 3 books of poetry published, The Dog Eater and Other Poems, The Ibalan Collection, and The Dream Wanderer. Also, Cavalcante can mesmerize with authority his maturity of voice, the supreme manifestation of an obviously earned quality of experience in a lifetime of poetry, manly and macho for the most part. Cavalcante also turns delicate in most sensuously attended verse. So it is being reflected in the story that the author used a lot of vulgar words. And then Cavalcante is a recipient of many honors and awards, including a Balagtas Award from the Writers Union of the Philippines, a Dylan Thomas Poetry Award from the New School, an Academy of American Poets Poetry Award, and a Writing Fellowship Award from the New York Foundation for the Arts, and he lives in New York City and the Philippines. From the brief summary of the fiction, from the beginning, the main character, which is not mentioned in the story, when he was 23, he born in a well-to-do couple who lived in a big house. So he met their son Arturo, but everyone called him Atoy. Atoy is married to Isabel at a young age and did not pursue his high school. He and Atoy established friendship and eventually had a blood compact so that they will be a real brothers. Okay, so the main character himself lived in a certain place wherein he was able to establish friendship, okay, from the family of Arturo or Atoy. And then of course, just because of that friendship that they were able to establish, Atoy himself asked the main character to have the blood compact so that they could be brother in blood. And then in the end, so he's a well accepted by Arturo's family and treated as a truly part of them. So they eat together and sometimes drink tuba. One time, Atoy is drinking alone and he was crying and he told him that since they are now real brothers, what he has is his. If he needs a woman, he'll share Isabel to him. Okay, Isabel is Atoy's wife. He has sexual interest, the main character himself, who has a sexual interest with the wife of Atoy, who is Isabel. And when he is about to leave the poblacion, Isabel served as a farewell gift of Atoy to him. And Atoy had a pocket knife in his hand. Alright, and now for the analysis in terms of sociological themes conveyed in the short story. First, many people succeed because they are driven by envy, inggit, in Tagalog. So we have here the quoted text. Ambitious people can stand having less than what their neighbors have. That is according to Tio Julio on page 99. So here, the main character conversed with the father of Atoy, and then he asked him regarding why do a lot of people in their place succeeded. And then of course, Tio Julio gave a lot of reasons, or cited a lot of reasons why. But then he asked him if Tio Julio is quite having an envy for those people who have succeeded. And then another one, sometimes there are people we treated like a real brother. And the quoted text here is, I no longer felt like going after I came home and found you all gone. You are now like a brother to me. A brother waits for his brother. So this is a kind of lines wherein Atoy is feeling sad just because the brother did not wait in him, okay, to go in a certain place. Okay, so that's why there is a bit of anger towards Atoy, and it seems that he felt betrayed on that. So linguistic features of dialogues of characters in the quoted text, specific patterns or social rules for conducting conversation or discourse. Conversation is a predominant kind of talk in which 2 or more participants freely alternate in speaking. It involves cohesive devices, coherent rhetorical relation, discourse markers, contextual references, recognizing information, serious and intention. Mestre, 2000 described the following specific features to conversation, which are turn-taking, adjacent pairs, and global structure. First one, we have turn-taking. It is a term for the manner in which orderly conversation normally takes place. So here are the coded texts. Atoy, the night was like this when we confirmed our brotherhood with the blood compact. Remember? Yes. Remember what I said that night before I left you? Yes. I want to prove to you that I meant what I said. What about Isabel? She have a say is this. Something like that. So that is turn taking. And then of course we have here adjacent pair. It is composed of two utterances by two speakers, one after the other. So here is the coded line or the coded text. What if I get her pregnant? It will be our joy, our child. And then as you can see, adjacent pair, it has a resemblance or it is being considered as part of the turn taking. And then we have here the last one, the global structure is a telephone conversation. It belongs to a general class of verbal interchanges in which social activity consists of talking. But then in the story, I haven't found any global structure. In terms of code switching, bilingual communities use certain phenomena to make communication more effective and meaningful. One of these phenomena is code switching, which can observe mostly in second or foreign language classrooms. It refers to use of two languages with a sentence or discourse. It is a natural process that often occurs between multilingual speakers who share two or more languages in common. So code switching can be classified as follows. It could be intersentential, intrasentential, and extrasentential. So in terms of intersentential, the language we just done at sentence boundaries, words or phrases at the beginning or end of a sentence. So we have here a quoted text. Tangal, that is tangal, the dry powder bark of a mangrove tree. That is in page 97. I do not know what is tangal. Dry, okay. And then we have here intrasentential code switching. The shift is done in the middle of a sentence, which no interruptions, hesitation, or pauses to indicate shift. The speaker is usually unaware of the shift. So we have here coded text. Although I could afford to pay for living accommodation in the poblacion, I was required by the government office I work for. That is in page 97. We have here the word poblacion in the middle. A mangrove tree called bakawan was added to the salt to dilute its sweetness and to prevent souring. That is on page 98. And then we have here extrasentential. It's a switching of either a single word or a tag phrase from one language to another. So we have here a coded text. Isa pa, dagdagan mo pa. One more, take another bite. That is on page 99. And then for variation, I have here 4 factors which I have looked out in both characters between women and men in terms of structuring discourse, level of politeness, expression of emotionality, and conventional topic or discourse content. So under structuring discourse, women, less use of questions and tag questions to structure talk. Just because there are no more conversations that appear in the story. And then frequent use of questions and tag questions, that is under men. And then level of politeness, less presented conversation of female characters. But in men, there are use of some vulgar words related to sexual aspect. Expression of emotionality, no much emotion presented, as I said, because there are no conversations that occur among characters or among female characters. With men, high emotions are presented through vivid from the lines of the characters, that is, especially in the lines quoted by Atoy. And then conventional topic, there are some in female or woman, gossip as a typical female speech activity. It is being shown in the story wherein there are a group of women who are talking, okay, who are gossiping. And then with men, preference from factual topic or report. And then in speech changes in different situations, how formal or how informal a speaker is depending on the reason of communicating in the relation he has with the person he's speaking to. Speakers tend to use more informal language with people they are close to and in situations where they feel most comfortable. They're more formal with people they don't know so well in the situation that are more difficult or uncomfortable. According to John Searle, a philosopher of language and a professor from the University of California, Berkeley, speech changes in different situations. There are 5 types of speech acts, types of acts in every utterance. Given the right circumstantial context, these are assertive, directive, commissive, expressive, and declaration. So we have our assertive. It's a type of dictionary in which the speaker expresses belief about the truth of proposition, but there is no assertive lines in the story. In terms of directive, this type of speech act aims to make someone else to do something that the speaker desires. And the coded text, one more, take another bite. That is on page 99. And then commissive speech act are the act of committing to future action. So here are some examples of quoted lines. I want us to become real blood brothers. That is from Atoy, page 101. Now we're true brothers. Okay, that is a line also from Atoy on page 102. Anytime you need a woman, I'll share Isabel with you. That is also from Atoy on page 102. And then expressives are the type of speech act that shows the expression of the speaker via utterance. So here is the coded text. My farewell gift, brother, Atoy. That is on page 103. So declaration of speech act is the other act that makes propositional content corresponds with the reality. So I have here some coded text. I'm happy with what I have, what God has given me, has been kind to me and my family. That is according to Tio Julio on page 99. The night was like this when we confirm our brotherhood with a blood compact. Remember? That is from Atoy on page 103. So those are some speech changes in different situations. Now, in conclusion, the story highlighted social rules for conducting conversation, code switching, variation, and changes in speech as showcased in the dialogues of the character. Atoy's friendship with the main character is undeniably peculiar. It seems that there is something beyond brotherly love in spite of being married to Isabel. So the pocket knife in Atoy's hand connotes the idea of killing himself the night of sharing Isabel to his friend. That's the end of my report. And here is the rest.